It was an early morning bloodbath in an upmarket golf estate, somewhere usually so secure, where parents pay big money to bring their children up safely.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Crime with Regina. Today we're going to be looking at the 2015 Van Breda family murders. This is a crime that took place on the 27th of January 2015, and the son Henry Van Breda has been convicted of the murder. The family consisted of Mother Teresa, who was 55 at the time of the incident, Father Martin, who was 54 at the time of the incident, son Rudy, who was 22 at the time of the incident, and the youngest victim, 16-year-old Marley. The perpetrator was 20 at the time of the incident, by the name of Henry Van Breda. On the day of the incident, at around 4 in the morning, Henry called 911 and claimed that an intruder had entered his home and he had axed his whole family. His younger sister was the only one who was still breathing. It took time for paramedics and the police to get to the place because they struggled to get the proper address to their estate. At the time, they lived at the De Zalza estate, which was in Stellenbosch, Western Cape in South Africa. The parents seemed like nice people, well off. Before living in the Western Cape, they had first lived in Pretoria and then moved to Australia, where the father was a managing director for Engel and Volkers. And then eventually they moved back to South Africa and lived in the Western Cape. 20-year-old Henry Van Breda says that the intruder came in and killed the brother first. When the father heard the noises, he came into their room and he got killed. The mother also got killed. Then the younger sister got attacked. He was able to fight the intruder and was able to take away the axe from the intruder and managed to get minor injuries from the knife that the intruder also had. Wow. Henry. Yeah, the story is just not adding up. And yeah, man, when the cops did their investigation, the blood was the nail in his coffin because there was DNA of his family members on him. And his injuries did not fit his story that he was attacked. They were concentrated on the left-hand side because Henry was right-handed. And yeah, to this day, he still denies that he is the one who committed the crime, but he just couldn't prove it in the court of law. This boy seemed like an arrogant type of individual, a person that did not care much, because even when he got 100,000 rand bail, he was still back in court for possession of drugs with his girlfriend. His girlfriend's charges were later dropped. And yeah, man, it just shows how unremorseful he was. Even if it was believed that he did not do it, but his actions after and during the trial said he didn't feel anything about his whole entire family being murdered.
Henry Van Breda has pleaded not guilty to killing his parents and brother. He's also charged with the attempted murder of his sister.
Tight security at the De Zalza estate. The media initially barred from the premises. The contingent was later escorted to the house where the Van Bredas lived. Henry Van Breda alleges that his family was attacked in this house in the dead of night. He says he managed to wrestle the axe from his attacker, and after a scuffle, the balaclava-clad intruder fled from the home.
Henry was eventually convicted on the 21st of May 2018. And there's still people that thought he was innocent. There are people that thought Henry actually didn't do this, surprisingly.
Henry van Breda didn't do it. That's according to a social worker who counselled the triple axe murderer prior to his conviction and sentence.
For me, it was really difficult to really bring forward in a way any reasons that would say, well, this is possibly what the court could consider in terms of what drove and what motivated his behavior at that point in time. As much as he has been found guilty, that as a professional person, for me, it's very difficult to actually really grasp that he was the one that has done that.
Smith says there were no warning signs in van Breda's childhood.
In terms of very serious violence, very serious and very violent offences, we see things, for example, children being abusive of animals, being abusive of other siblings, children that is just socially not adaptable within schools, unable to make friends. With regards to Henry, those early signs were just not there. It was absent.
Tell me why, when somebody commits a crime that is despicable, that is heinous, people always have to think it's psychological. Henry doesn't have to have been killing animals when he was young for you to believe that he killed his whole family. Henry had a drug problem and was even in rehab in 2014. Police even interviewed a drug dealer of his. So people like to make excuses for people because they cannot fathom that they're capable of doing that. Henry is unremorseful, and to this day, we still don't know why he did it.
Count 1, the murder of Rudy van Breda, the accused is found guilty. Count 2, the murder of Martin van Breda, the accused is found guilty. Count 3, the murder of Teresa van Breda, the accused is found guilty. Count 4, the attempted murder of Maria van Breda, the accused is found guilty. Count 5, defeating or obstructing the administration of justice, the accused is found guilty. That is the unanimous decision of this court. We have no explanation for what you did. You have displayed no remorse. We have heard extensive evidence of the consequences of your conduct, the cruel consequences. Yet we have no explanation from you. No substantial and compelling circumstances have been placed before us. There appear to be none. On count 1, the murder of Rudy van Breda, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. On count 2, the murder of Martin van Breda, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. On count 3, the murder of Teresa van Breda, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. For the attempted murder of Mali van Breda, you are sentenced to 15 years imprisonment. On count 5, obstructing the course of justice, for the administration of justice, as set out in the charge sheet, you are sentenced to 12 months imprisonment.
Henry was later sentenced on the 13th of June 2018. And like a typical rich kid that commits a crime, instead of going straight to jail, he went to Pollsmoor Prisons Hospital, where he got treated for epilepsy and depression. Wow, you kill your family and you're the one that ends up depressed? The person I feel sorry for here is Marley van Breda, that she has to live without her entire family and have to live with the fact that her own brother tried to kill her. I just hope she has found healing and the souls of her brother Rudy, her parents Martin and Teresa continue to rest in peace. That is all from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch my other videos, comment, like, and subscribe.